Is it on? Hello? Can you hear me now? Greetings. Good afternoon, friends. My name is Wes Daniels. I'm the director of the Friends Center here at Guilford College, and I'd like to welcome you all to Guilford College. You may be seated. I want to congratulate you. Yeah, we can clap. That's all right. Yeah. Congratulations for being here. I want you to know that you are welcome here at Guilford. I know I speak for all of my colleagues here when I say that we are so glad that you are here with us, especially after such a difficult last year. As we start this school year off, I want to invite all of us to take a moment of silence together. But before we do that, I'll give you a little bit of, sort of preparation for silence. In the Quaker tradition, we begin all of our most important work in silence. As a school founded by Quakers, you will find that this is one of the practices that is still common in our community today. It'll be something that you'll practice in some of your classrooms and student meetings and other events. Before we move into a time of silence, I'd like for you to just kind of settle into your seats here. And if you're at home or in your office somewhere, just get comfortable. Some suggestions that might help you settle are putting your 2 feet on the floor, sitting upright, putting your phone aside for a second. Now let's take a deep breath together. I like that. I'm going to do that again. Just let yourself relax. Feel yourself calming in this space. As we go into silence, I want you to focus on centering and being present to this moment. This is the only time this moment is going to happen. Take in everything around you. Come fully into this space. Let your mind and your body be present. In the silence, you may decide to offer up a prayer or a gratitude or a hope for the coming year. You may ask for help. You may just try to clear your mind or enjoy a moment of quiet. I often try to visualize each person who's in the room with me and give thanks for them, which is what I will do in the moment of silence we share. It doesn't matter what you do in the silence so much as you begin to focus on centering and opening yourself up to the gift of this moment. Silence is a practice that can help you go deeper into any moment over the next 4 years. It's a little tool that you'll have in your toolkit. A Quaker minister and friend of mine likes to say, pay attention to what you pay attention to. Notice what you notice. So in the silence, what do you notice? What are you paying attention to? What are the things that you're thinking about as you begin this college journey? So let's try it. Let's have a moment of silence together. We begin in silence and give thanks for all the new members of this community, and we remember those who are no longer with us. We begin in silence to give thanks for the start of a new school year. We begin in silence as a reminder of the importance of what it means to be a community together. We begin in silence giving gratitude for all those who supported us on our journey up to this point. Thank you, friends. And now I would like to introduce our new provost, Maria Rosales. Maria was born and raised in California and earned her bachelor's degree at California State University, Stanislaus. After receiving her PhD at the University of California, Berkeley, she moved to Greensboro in 2005 to teach political science at Guilford College. She received tenure and was promoted to associate professor in 2011 and was promoted to full professor in 2019. In recent years, she has served as Guilford's Faculty Development Associate for Inclusive Pedagogy, Chair of the Political Science Department, and Director of Faculty Development. Most recently, Maria has worked as Clerk of Faculty, expertly navigating a turbulent terrain at the college during the pandemic. Please help me welcome our Provost and MC for this afternoon's ceremony, Maria Rosales.
Hello. Welcome. I am so glad that you are here, whether you are a new student or someone who's returning to work and learn here. This college is a special place with a strong community of people who care about each other and the world. Wherever you are coming from, whether from right here or from further away, odds are that this past year was difficult in some ways. It's been a year of pandemic and economic and political stress, a year of distance and uncertainty. It's also been a year of learning, grace, and growth, a year of people making choices for the greater good, a year of people coming together to support each other, even when they had to offer that support long distance, over Zoom, or from behind masks. We were reminded about how interconnected we are, which is a good thing to remember as we start a new academic year. So here's my first piece of unsolicited advice. Ask for help when you need it, or even when you just want it. We are social animals and we depend on each other. All of us are going to keep learning this year, whether we are new to Guilford or have been here for decades. Many of us had hoped that the pandemic would be behind us by now, or that even if we weren't in post-pandemic times, we'd at least be in post-vaccination times. But the virus has mutated and messed up our plans a bit again. Some guy named Alan Saunders said, "Life is what happens when you are busy making other plans." The Beatles made that quote more famous, although I don't think they made Alan Saunders more famous, which is a side note. We make plans, and I think we should make plans. Sometimes our plans work out or partially work out. Sometimes they don't work out at all. But the process of making plans helps many of us think about what we want. And that in itself is valuable, even when the unexpected happens. So that's my second piece of unsolicited advice. Pay attention to what you want, what you yearn for, and what brings you joy. As you grow and change and learn new things, your desires may also change. And in my experience, they usually do. Don't force them to be static. Let them grow and change with you. I'm not saying you should just do whatever you feel like. Paying attention to your yearnings will probably make clear to you that your yearnings sometimes conflict with each other or with the needs of other people. But your desires are important information, whether you act on them or not. My third and final big piece of unsolicited advice is to live now. It is really easy to feel as if life starts on the other side of the goal in front of you. You might think life begins after college or after graduate school or after you get through whatever's in front of you that's keeping you busy. But you are living right now, and you are creating patterns and habits that are likely to stick with you for a long time. More than that, your life right now, at the age and stage you are in, is as valuable as your life will be when you are older. It is sometimes really hard to believe, but it's true. Your life matters right now. So don't wait to live. Ask for help, make your plans, respond to the unexpected, find your joys, and value your life right now. And have a great year. I would now like to introduce our alumni speaker, Tracy Russ, who is a 1990 graduate of Guilford College, a resident of Charlotte, North Carolina, and a member of Guilford's Alumni Association Engagement Council. He is creator and manager a strategic communications and public relations agency. Previously, Tracy has served as Chief Communications Officer for Charlotte Mecklenburg Schools, Chief Convergence Officer for Eco America, Chief Marketing Officer and Senior Communications Advisor for the 2012 Democratic National Convention, Executive Director of Crossroads Charlotte, and President and CEO of Russ Communication Group / Interactive Decisions. During his time at Guilford, Tracy was a Charles A. Dana Scholar, president of the Student Government Association, and editor-in-chief of the Guilfordian. He earned a BA in English. Please join me in welcoming Tracy back to college, to this college.
Thank you, Maria, and everyone for having me here to be a part of this special day. Hello. It truly is an honor to be with all of you and to join together in this day of beginnings, of community, and of joyful aspiration. I bring you greetings and gratitude on behalf of all Guilfordians, and I also bring a message. We are with you. As our community meets the challenges and opportunities present now and those ahead, your alumni are with you. The soul of Guilford College lives in the hearts and the minds of my fellow alums. We love this place. We love this community, both what it is now, what it has been, and what it will be. And we love you. Two important aspects of my Guilford experience came to mind as I reflected about what to share with you today. Now, the connection between these two things may already be clear to many of you, but the connection became only fully real and apparent to me as I was leaving Guilford, and frankly, in the years since then. In my professional life, our consultancy, our agency, often deals with difficult questions that face organizations, private sector corporations, communities. And they require creative responses, different responses, out-of-the-box thinking. And in that work, it's not uncommon for a client to ask me or one of the members of my team, where do your ideas come from? Now, as consultants, we are trained, and perhaps more importantly to the bottom line, we're compensated to have answers, right? And there is a taboo phrase in the world of problem solvers, of consultants. But this taboo phrase happens to also be an authentic response to the where do your ideas come from question, and it is, I don't know. That's a terrifying thing for a consultant to say to a client. The reality is I do know, but it isn't a where the ideas come from, it's a how. It's a how I learned because I experienced it. I learned it here at Guilford College. I think and believe that all of you either have or will experience this how at Guilford too. To my mind, this Guilford how is made up of two elements that connect all of us in this special community. I promise we didn't coordinate our remarks today, but we've already talked about the first one, and that is this idea of the moment of silence. We opened the day with that just a few minutes ago. And I remember clearly the first time I experienced this moment of silence, and I was sitting somewhere in there, and it felt super awkward. I didn't know what to do. I'm naturally a person who prefers to be in movement most of the time. Mentally, physically, I have a stand-up desk in my office. I'm not known to sit down to take phone calls. It's excruciating for me to sit in chairs most of the time. So What was I supposed to do? And you're right, offer a message or a prayer of faith, ask for help, that happens a lot. Perhaps muse on what sounds I could pick out in this moment of silence. It's more likely that I was thinking about what meal was ahead and what to eat than about something profound. But I learned, and I'm still learning, about the power of this silence, the power of taking time to center, to collect thoughts, to find a restorative calm before the next discussion, decision, or path ahead. I understand better now that this moment of silence is not best defined as an absence. It most truthfully is defined as a presence. The presence of a renewing light, a breath, a chance for our souls to look in the mirror and to reflect, perhaps to explore honestly the why of what is to come. So when I say that the reality of where ideas come from, for me, in part, they come from this place of embracing calm. And I do firmly believe that appreciation of a moment as a presence rather than absence is a distinct and valuable part of what it means to be a part of community here at Guilford. The second element of the Guilford how is one that I also found a bit strange at first, but it has since become endemic to my nature, to my relationships, to the way we do business, to the way we interact in the world. And this is the very simple greeting, hello. Guilford is a small community, a beautiful place that in many ways is a sort of a nest for a certain kind of very valued trust. It is a place where people who don't know each other say hi, hello, how are you, to everyone. I found this behavior an adjustment when I came onto campus. Gradually, though, so when I say an adjustment, I mean like, oh, okay, I don't know you, but hi back, I think, and suppose. But I've gradually learned that this act of reaching out of a first connection at maybe a little risk became a part of who I am and a fundamental part of my career and personal life. And I want to tell you, as an avowed introvert in the business that I'm in, I think about this often. And so I carry this bit of trust powered by hello with me in the world. I say hi and hello to people everywhere. And some people do find it odd. And some of the people that I love most in life came into my life with that simple word. And I think you will find the same. What I've grown to understand over time is that saying hello isn't just about people. You can say hello to ideas, to differences, to challenges, to changes, to life, to love, to grief, to wonder, to joy, to the past, to the future, to today, if you choose to. Guilford is a place and a community that shows you what can happen when you do choose to say hello. The world around us seeks people who can bring how, the Guilford how, to a myriad of issues, decisions, and vexing problems. This campus seeks that. Our community needs that. It needs your hello and your how. I say, embrace both the moment of silence to grow and ponder, and say hello to differing ideas, to comparisons and contrasts, to perspectives around you. Bring that Guilford how with you to your experience both on this campus and out into the world. I want to close with a few simple thoughts in payment of my debt of gratitude for joining you today. Look out for one another. Be kind. Be thoughtful. Be yourself, but also be a part of as many we's as you can. Share a lot. Your moments of silence and your hellos are vibrant, soulful forces in this community. And it is a community like no other. May your hellos be friendly greetings and also invitations to being vulnerable, to shared strengths, to maybe a bit of discomfort of the kind that heralds positive change. The people that you love around you, tell them. Be weird about it. Be Guilford about it. And finally, Guilford's not just a small version of other places, and it never will be, and it shouldn't be. On one day, you might find this beautiful campus to be lush and verdant. And as change and seasons go, it transitions to this beautiful version of quiet possibility. It is a place that can be both frustrating and loving, dually confounding and clarifying, always energetic, and ultimately endearing. We're all a part of this community that asks and equips us to be empowered hows. It is unique, it is different, it is amazing, it is inspiring. So are you. Whether you've been here for years or here now for the first week, your hows are waiting. Guilford alums are excited to see them emerge, to grow, and to carry your light. We are with you. We are a part of each other's how. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Tracy. That was a lot more unsolicited advice than I gave, but I liked it. So I hope you share my excitement about this next portion of our program. I'm here to introduce one of your classmates, Lexi Mcgraw. Lexi is a sophomore at Guilford from Asheville, North Carolina, who is currently majoring in classical guitar and intends to double major in either education or music production. Lexi chose Guilford because of the small class sizes as well as the experiential learning style that is so heavily emphasized. And after college, Lexi hopes to become a music teacher at a small school or provide one-on-one lessons. Please help me welcome Lexi.
Hi. There's a song called Try to Bend a River. Don't know if I would fight about my love for you. I know not always say, but what if I can't do someone else something good? I'm walking over water, hoping to remember what was worth in trying to see the same log falling silently passing the gap between the windows and waiting for all the sounds. You would be among them. Wanna find a way to keep up with wild horses Been standing on the table, trying to bend the river, drawing dotted lines, looking out for the beginning, shine like paper, push me into strangers, picturing a child sleeping on a pony. Head full of waters, I'm dreaming of ice. You got something to trust in when nothing is falling down. Then standing on the table, trying to bend the river, drawing dotted lines, looking out for the beginning, shine like paper, push me into strangers, picturing a child sleeping on a pony.
Thank you. This year's Guilford Student Body Association president is Hannah Arnett, who is the next speaker. Hannah is part of the class of 2022 and comes to us from Elizabethtown, North Carolina. Hannah chose Guilford because it felt like home to her as soon as she walked on campus. She says she knew this was a community that would support her and help her grow. She's majoring in exercise science with a minor in Spanish, and after graduation plans to spend a year traveling in a school bus that she is currently converting into a tiny house. Please help me welcome your GSBA president, Hannah Arnett.
Hello, fellow Guilfordians. I'm here to welcome you into a community meant for you to grow, prosper, and enjoy, no matter if you're just beginning your journey here or returning for another great year. As I welcome you into this community, remember that myself and the other board members are here to get your voices heard and cater to your needs, as our community is nothing without solidarity. Welcome back, and I cannot wait to grow and prosper besides all of you. It is my distinct honor and privilege to introduce our beloved interim president, Jim Hood. Jim is a 1979 graduate of Guilford College with a bachelor's degree in religious studies. He earned a Master of Arts in Religion and Literature from Yale University Divinity School in 1981 and a doctorate in English from UNC Chapel Hill in 1991. He taught English at Mercyhurst College in Pennsylvania from 1991 to 96, and Mars Hill College in Western North Carolina from 1996 to 1998, before returning to Guilford as a professor in 1999. Jim has held a variety of leadership roles at Guilford, including clerk of faculty from 2018 to 2020, coordinator of the First Year Experience Program in 2012 to 2013, director of the Study Abroad from 2006 to 2011, Associate Academic Dean from 2001 to 2004, and Coordinator of Planning in 2001 and 2002. He also led the London Study Abroad program in the fall of 2004, and he was named Charles A. Dana Professor of English in 2009 and has graciously served as our president since February 23, 2021. Jim is married to Sarah Beth Terrell, class of 1977, a spiritual formation group leader whom he met in the Guilford College Choir, and they have raised two Guilford graduates, Julia from class of 2006 and Daniel, class of 2011, who are the sixth generation of their family to attend Guilford. Please help me welcome our interim president, Jim Hood.
Wow, thank you so much, Hannah. It's really great to be here. It's really great to see you all out there. I know there are many of others of you who are watching, but I'm really happy to be here. I was sitting over there thinking about all the memories that I have of being in this room at various times in my life. Just everything from sad times, like the memorial service for one of our closest friends and mentors, to times of celebrations and concerts, and even back in the day when I was a student here, they used to show films in here. Do you remember films like before Netflix and all that sort of stuff? You know, like where you actually went somewhere with a group of people and that was the only time you could actually watch it. So I sat up there in the balcony a lot of times and watched movies here in Dana Auditorium. But it's really great to be here. And I'm going to, following the pattern that we've already established, and give you all some more unsolicited advice. So bear with me. I think I'm what stands between you and the cupcakes, which is, that's a dangerous position to be in. But we did not plan out our remarks. We didn't consult, but a number of them have kind of coalesced around some interesting ideas. And so I'm particularly thinking about the idea of being present and paying attention. And that's what I want to talk about now. So at the beginning of the chapter called Seeing, in her classic nature writing book, Pilgrim at Tinker Creek, this is it. Read it if you haven't. The author, Annie Dillard, tells a story from her childhood in Pittsburgh. So when she was 6 or 7 years old, she would sometimes take a penny and go out and hide it somewhere along the sidewalk, like in a crack or next to the roots of a sycamore tree. And then she would wait for some passerby to find it. But she wouldn't just leave the penny there. She would go to the other end of the block and she would take out some chalk and write phrases on the sidewalk like, "Surprise ahead," "Money this way." And she'd draw arrows that pointed the unsuspecting passerby to the hidden penny. She didn't wait to see who would come by to pick it up. Instead, as she puts it, she just left the penny there as a free gift to the universe. So this little vignette that she tells starts a whole series of other tales, each of which reinforces the idea that the world is full of marvelous pennies, those fantastical surprises that await all of us if we just open our eyes and look. So here's the main idea. Here's our main idea in her words. It is a dire poverty indeed when someone is so malnourished and fatigued that they won't stoop to pick up a penny. But if you cultivate a healthy poverty and simplicity, so that finding a penny will literally make your day, then, since the world is planted in pennies, you have, with your poverty, bought a lifetime of days. It is that simple. What you see is what you get. What you see is what you get. So when we use that expression in ordinary conversation, we usually mean something like this. When you look at me or this other person or something, you are seeing it as the full and true person or thing, not something false or faked up. It's about honesty and being forthcoming. There's another use of it in old computer talk, WYSIWYG, for those of you who are geeks from the past, but I won't go into that. But here, Dillard is using the phrase in a new and different way. And here's what I think she means. You only get something out of what you're doing in proportion to your ability to see the value in it. Let me say that one more time. You only get something out of what you're doing in proportion to your ability to see the value in it. To most of us, pennies appear nearly worthless, particularly, now in 2021. This book was written in the 1970s. But if we look at things more closely, if we develop the capacity within ourselves to engender a sense of joy and wonder at uncovering the unexpected, then something as simple as a penny, and by extension, anything that appears at times unimportant or routine or mundane, anything is transformed into something precious, perhaps even something miraculous. Most of you have probably spent, if you were like me when I was your age, spent the last 12 or more years going to school because the law said you must. It's been a requirement, a duty, an obligation. That has all changed now. You have chosen to be here because you wanted it. Okay, I know you might think that you didn't have a choice. Somebody like your mama or your daddy or your boss or your first cousin 3 times removed made you go to college. But even if that is partially true, on a deeper, more important level, you made the decision. You are here because of you. So what are you going to do now? It's simple, really. Dillard says, it's all a matter of keeping your eyes open. So think with me for a few moments about some time in your life already, something that you've already experienced when you saw, and I mean really saw, something ordinary, something usual, that somehow became extraordinary, became unusual. You might have to think back to some time when you were a kid and saw, say, a rainbow. A rainbow is really nothing more than light being refracted through the prism of moisture in the sky. But maybe when you saw a certain rainbow, you squealed with delight. Sunsets happen every day. But what about seeing that totally fireworks sunset with purple hauntings at the edges of its flash orange and fusion pink? Or think about the time when you saw a certain person for the first time, a person who might appear quite ordinary and unremarkable to 99.9% of the rest of the world's population of humans, but to you, in that moment, this one particular person coming across the room or leaning against a window sill or touching their hair in a certain way, that person appeared beautiful beyond measure. A bit of wow came your way when you didn't even know it was heading toward you. The thing is, seeing like that is actually a skill you can develop. You don't have to wait for it. It's waiting for you all the time. It's a superpower that everybody possesses. You just have to keep your eyes open. College is here, wide open before you, right here, right now. Some of you will discover miraculous pennies in your sociology class. Some will find them in business ethics. Some will even find them, yes, in English. It might be during the internship or a field trip or on the soccer field or when you volunteer to tutor a child. And some of you will find the miracle like I did in my field botany class. We had our lab on Friday afternoons from 1 to 5 p.m., and we would pile in a van and head out to collect plants, learning how to identify by family and scientific names such beautiful trees with luscious names like Quercus alba, Magnolia grandiflora, and Liriodendron tulipifera. I just like to say those things, you know, it's just fun. So I would stay on in the lab after 5 p.m., after we got back, keying out, identifying these specimens I'd collected and pressing them between sheets of blotting paper and newspaper for safekeeping. I was learning so much. The mundane had become the spectacular. There was no gap between learning and fun. You don't have to nerd out the way I did. I mean, I did become a college professor, let's just say. Find your own thing and be passionate about it. There is so much here at Guilford. There is so much opportunity. There is so much promise. What you see is what you get. So in closing, I want to share with you a poem by the late Mary Oliver. You may have heard it before. It's called The Summer Day. And it seems to me to be all about paying attention to those ordinary, miraculous, penny kind of things like grasshoppers that are here right now, ready for the taking. And I'm going to repeat the last couple of lines, so I'm violating her poem a little bit by doing that, but I think it bears repeating. So here we go. Thank you, Mary Oliver. Who made the world? Who made the swan and the black bear? Who made the grasshopper? This grasshopper, I mean. The one who has flung herself out of the grass, the one who is eating sugar out of my hand, who is moving her jaws back and forth instead of up and down, who is gazing around with her enormous and complicated eyes. Now she lifts her pale forearms and thoroughly washes her face. Now she snaps her wings open and floats away. I don't know exactly what a prayer is. I do know how to pay attention, how to fall down into the grass, how to kneel down in the grass, how to be idle and blessed, how to stroll through the fields, which is what I've been doing all day. Tell me, what else should I have done? Doesn't everything die at last and too soon? Tell me, what is it you plan to do with your one wild and precious life? Tell me, what is it you plan to do with your one wild and precious life? Thank you so much.
Will you stand for the benediction? Go now with the blessing and love of faculty and staff as you begin this new journey. And may the one whose light illuminates all of creation bless you and keep you. May that same light shine upon you and be gracious to you. May you be blessed and kept by that radiant spirit of love. And may that love embrace you and give you peace. Go in peace, friends.
Please remain standing for the recessional. And before you leave, can we also give one more round of applause to our student performers and the speakers? Thank you.